it's a daunting feeling in the best way, because it obviously feels like
more than the other. I love this character. I love her optimism.
You're a Supergirl now. It's a lot of responsibility.
Supergirl wasn't built from confidence. She was built from patience, fear, and the ability to keep going without applause. Before the cape, there was endurance. Before confidence, there was uncertainty. And before recognition, there were years of effort that went unnoticed. Melissa Benoist didn't become Supergirl by being the obvious choice. She became her by staying present when visibility never came. Decide this now. Do heroes come from certainty or from learning how to stand without it? Watch this all the way through. By the end, the answer won't feel theoretical. It will feel earned. Before Melissa Benoist became Supergirl, Hollywood never framed her as powerful. They framed her as agreeable, pleasant, dependable. The kind of actress casting directors trusted to show up on time, hit her marks, and disappear gracefully into an ensemble. She was given roles that smiled warmly, supported leads, and exited scenes without disturbing the center of gravity. Musical theater sharpened her discipline. Television taught her endurance. But none of it came with the promise of ownership. She wasn't marketed as a breakout star. She wasn't positioned as a future icon. She existed in the industry's safe middle, where talent is acknowledged but rarely rewarded with risk. And in Hollywood, risk is what creates heroes. Benoist watched others leap ahead while she stayed steady, reliable, invisible. It would have been easy to mistake that for failure. Many do, but she kept going. Not because she believed recognition was inevitable, but because she believed the work mattered. There was something quietly stubborn about her persistence. She didn't chase spectacle. She chased understanding. Each role, no matter how small, became practice in presence, in learning how to hold space without demanding it. Hollywood didn't see her as someone who could carry a franchise, but Melissa Benoist was already carrying something heavier. Patience. And patience, as it turns out, is a form of strength most people don't recognize until it's too late. Benoist was surviving a reality far more demanding than auditions or callbacks. During the early years of her career, she was trapped in an abusive relationship that slowly dismantled her sense of self. Abuse rarely announces itself loudly. It erodes quietly. Confidence disappears first, then autonomy, then identity. You begin to doubt your instincts. You learn to apologize for existing. Outwardly, nothing changed. She smiled, she worked, she showed up. That's what made it invisible. Pain that doesn't interrupt productivity often goes unnoticed. But inside, everything shifted. Fear became a constant background noise. Safety felt conditional. Strength was no longer something loud or cinematic. It became something private, something measured in endurance. Hollywood didn't know. Audiences didn't know. And she didn't tell them because survival sometimes requires silence, but the experience reshaped her understanding of power. Power wasn't about control or dominance anymore. It was about staying intact, about holding on to kindness when bitterness would have been easier. When Benoist eventually found her way out, she didn't emerge unbroken. She emerged aware. Aware of how fragile confidence can be, how courage often looks like simply continuing. That awareness would later become the emotional backbone of Supergirl, long before the cape ever entered the picture. When Supergirl entered development, skepticism followed immediately. Another cape, another Kryptonian, another shadow cast by Superman. The character didn't need spectacle. She needed sincerity. Someone who could make hope feel earned instead of imposed. Studios weren't looking for invincibility. They were looking for relatability, for warmth that didn't feel manufactured, for strength that could coexist with doubt. Benoist didn't approach the audition trying to prove she was powerful. She approached it trying to be honest. She didn't play Kara as flawless. She played her as someone still figuring out where she fit. Someone who wanted to help but wasn't always sure how. That vulnerability changed the room. Casting directors weren't watching a symbol. They were watching a human being learning how to stand. That was the difference. Supergirl didn't need perfection. She needed truth. And Benoist brought truth shaped by experience, not theory. The kind you don't learn in acting classes. The kind life teaches you whether you ask for it or not. From the beginning, Benoist rejected the idea that strength had to be polished. Kara Danvers didn't arrive fully formed, she arrived uncertain. She made mistakes in public. She failed where people could see her. And instead of hiding that, Benoist leaned into it. Her Supergirl smiled, but not because everything was easy. She smiled because optimism was a choice. Fear existed alongside courage. Doubt alongside determination. That balance made her relatable in a genre that often equates strength with emotional absence. Benoist allowed Kara to grow visibly. Confidence wasn't assumed. It was earned episode by episode. That arc mattered. Viewers weren't watching a hero descend from the sky. They were watching someone learn how to carry responsibility without losing herself. For many, especially young viewers, that mattered more than flight or force. It reframed heroism as something accessible, something built, not granted. As the series matured, Supergirl became less about saving the world and more about navigating it. Identity, belonging, expectations. The weight of being seen as an ideal while still feeling human. Benoist made that tension visible. You could feel it in her pauses, in the way her voice softened before hard decisions. Supergirl wasn't strong because she never broke. She was strong because she did, and kept choosing compassion anyway. That distinction resonated. It told audiences that breaking doesn't disqualify you. It deepens you. Benoist didn't hide the cost of being a symbol. She let it show. And in doing so, she gave Supergirl an emotional honesty that many heroes lack. Over time, Benoist didn't just play Supergirl, she embodied her. The optimism stopped feeling performative. It became grounded, earned. In a genre saturated with cynicism, her sincerity felt almost rebellious. Supergirl became a space where kindness wasn't weakness, where hope wasn't naive, where joy was allowed to coexist with seriousness. Benoist made optimism feel disciplined rather than childish. By the later seasons, neither Kara nor Melissa was trying to prove anything. They had already done the work. The cape no longer felt heavy. It felt honest. Melissa Benoist didn't become Supergirl because she could fly. She became Supergirl because she understood survival. Kara Danvers isn't about power. She's about choosing compassion after pain, hope after harm, courage after fear. Benoist didn't bring her scars to the role to display them. She brought them to give the character gravity. Supergirl wasn't an escape. It was a statement. That kindness can survive violence. That joy can return. That resilience doesn't need to shout. She didn't just play Supergirl, she redefined what strength can look like when it's gentle, persistent, and real. Supergirl didn't rise because everything went right. She rose because Melissa Benoist kept standing when nothing was certain, when strength was quiet, and when no one was clapping yet. That's the part most stories skip. The waiting, the fear, the choice to keep going without proof it will matter. Now I want to hear from you. Which moment in this story changed how you think about strength? Was it patience, vulnerability, or choosing hope after pain? Leave your answer in the comments. And if stories like this make you see heroes, success, and resilience differently, subscribe. Because the most powerful journeys aren't built from confidence. They're built from staying present long enough for strength to finally show itself.